Hello, my name is Daym Drops, and I have ED, erectile dysfunction. How's that for a video opener? Well, before we get into the juicy stuff and how I arrived here, though I think by now many of you already know, time to take our meds. Matter of fact, even before I take my meds, let's take a look and just kind of see where we're at as far as the Freestyle Libre. So let's go ahead and take a look at this. Ooh, 169, cruising upwards. As you see, I had a hellacious spike that was about 12:30 in the morning. Stopped at the gas station, needed something to keep me awake on the ride home. Grabbed up some chips. Propel grape that's still in my truck, thinking that would have created a nice little bouncer. But what caught me was the chocolate. Oh, I definitely stayed awake. It definitely gave me the energy I needed to get back to the crib, but I paid for that. Then my numbers came back down, but that's what I mean by up and down. Those are your stocks, right? The stocks that we had discussed in my first health update video, and those are your life stocks. Ah, yes, the fun of medication. Let's go ahead and take these bad boys. 2 metformin. And then the rest of these bad boys right here. All right, let's get into it. First, I want to thank all of the new followers to the channel that are following for the health update. I'm not perfect. I'm not going to sit here and pretend to be Mr. Perfect, or as if I'm going to start doing today perfectly, or even if next week, next month, next 6 months will be perfect. I will say this channel, you will be part of my health journey because I have to get myself all the way together. Nothing tells a man specifically that he has to get it together quite like when his boy, the D, doesn't work. For those that don't understand the effects that diabetes has, and I live with type 2 diabetes. For those that don't know, I have a video on it from like years ago. For those who understand, one of the side effects to always having the high cholesterol and the high blood pressure and not taking your meds regularly, not only do you have to worry about your extremities and your vision, but your boy is going to be out of there. High blood pressure at all times starts damaging the nerves, blood vessels. The blood that you need to rush to get that erection is gone. It's not happening, no matter what you do, except lose the weight, except change how you eat. See, taking the weight off, and if you can catch it early enough, is actually going to help you. It's going to help your situation. If you are currently experiencing ED, these are some things that you can do to kind of reverse the effects of it. The longer you choose not to, and that was me, the longer you choose not to, well, trust and believe, you're going to have to get surgery done at a later date after you bring your A1C all the way down, because they're not going to do the surgery when you're like me and I was at 13 and I was at 9. You have to be below 7, because when they're doing the D surgery, and that's a whole entire nice little implant in the shaft that's going to keep it rigid, and then you have a device in the boys, the double ups. I'm trying to keep this clean, but you have a little device in the double ups where, like the Reebok pump sneaker back in the days, you're sitting there on the double ups and you're pumping it up to get your boy standing at attention to serve the purpose, if that's the life that you choose. That's the life in the direction I have to go because of the poor choices that I made. I don't make an excuse for the poor choices. I told you, it's accountability, right? You have accountability and then you have a responsibility, hence this video. I am telling you what you get to look forward to if you don't make necessary changes. Living with ED first will affect you mentally. It's the way it breaks you down when you go to perform and nothing happens, no matter what you do. Your boy's like, I'm on soft. I'm gonna stay on soft. I'm not doing anything. I am not at the party that you brought me to because you've done enough damage here. So I'm doing nothing. You better use everything else that you got going on. You better use the hands. You better use the mouth. You better use everything else you got going on, because as for me, I am not showing up for you. You've done enough damage here. That's my boy. He's not showing up for nothing. He's like, we could pee when we got to go pee, but that's about all I'm finna do. See, big boy, you made poor decisions in life. It caught up to you. This is the price that you get to pay. Again, on the other hand, you can always get the surgery. If I'm not mistaken, there's 2 different types of surgeries that you could look into for having erectile dysfunction. And you can get those, and they are expensive. They are nothing cheap. Hope you got good insurance. They are nothing cheap whatsoever. Quick shout out to one of my boys who recently got the surgery done. And he didn't know about the surgery until I started talking to him about it. And he was like, I'm just kind of getting up there in age. I have hit and miss days. He doesn't have diabetes. He doesn't live with the same conditions that I live with. He just has the hit and miss days as he starts getting up there in age. So I started talking to him about the options. He was like, all right, yo, we gonna both get it done around the same time, but boop, boop. Except I go to my doctor, and my doctor's like, you're not getting anything done. Your A1C is too high. Goodness. So let's go back to mentally what it does to you as a man when you find out you cannot perform for your significant other, for whomever you're dealing with sexually. You cannot show up to that party the way you want to show up to that party. That breaks you. That will, bro, I don't care how strong you are. That moment as a man will break you. And you'll get over it. And then you'll start trying to figure out things, how to get it back, how to make it better, how to stand at attention when you need to stand at attention. You will figure those moves out that you need to make. But then when you find out that regardless what you do, regardless what other meds you take, your boy is not going to show up to the party. Ooh, ouch. Ouch. You want to talk about the type of pain that you feel on the inside? And once your mental starts to decline off of that alone, off of having ED, once your mental starts to decline, you're like, F it. I'm here now. Living with ED, it's not the end of the world. I'm here to tell you that. It's not the end of the world. First off, you're going to need somebody in your life that actually understands what you're going through. He or she has to understand what it is that you are going through. You have to understand what it is that you're going through. You're going to have to do the research. And you're going to have to get creative. If there's certain things that you don't normally like doing sexually, you about to learn that you're going to love them. You're going to have to love them to provide satisfaction to who it is that you're dealing with, even though your boy is not showing up to the party. You still have to do things for somebody else. Now, if it's just you and you are not sexually active, that's perfectly fine as well. Just understand, if you could catch it early enough, you could reverse ED and get back to your norm. There was a time I would look down because I was so big on my stomach. I was just heavy set. I didn't even see my boy. It was just all stomach when I looked down. I'm like, ooh, boy, I'm getting big around here, huh? That's when I made a conscious decision to start losing the weight. When I could no longer see my boy. At the time, he was still working. He was still punching the clock. I was still handling my business. But I just couldn't see him. I was like, hold on, man. I need to see what I'm working with. I need to see what's going on. I got to get rid of all this extra love and this extra man butter. I have to get rid of that. So let me start putting in work. And I put in the work. And then the weight came down. But understand, over the years, I've done so much damage that when it came to my boy, and then I seen him for the first time not show up to the party, I'm like, when it happens the first time, you're like, it could be a fluke. Because every man remembers his first time when you did show up to the party and your performance was trash. You're sitting there hoping that whoever you're dealing with sexually is going to give you another chance to come back and do better. And if not, just do better that same time. Like, look, round 2 better be better than round 1. So that first time not being able to show up, okay, you brush it off. That second time not being able to show up, what's going on? That third time not being able to show up, okay, I think something's wrong with me. Now I got to figure this out. Now I have to go see a doctor. I got to go see a specialist, figure out what's going on in my life. That third time of not showing up, I was still brushing it off and still eating the foods that I was eating and still doing what I had to do. I'm like, well, whatever. I have other skills. I'm nice with it. I'm good. Because every time I ignored the signs that were visible, every time I ignored the visible signs, I was doing more damage to myself. I was continuing the foods, the sugary foods, the sodas, the fast food. I wasn't about eating healthy. It was just about eating. The soul food, I was getting busy. And while I was getting busy, my boy was out of there. It was a wrap-a-roni. I just didn't stop long enough to think about it. To like, oh, man. I just figured, okay, it will pass. Whatever it is, it's going to pass. I'll be fine. I'll get back to norm. I'll get back to performing. We're good. No, we are not good. This video is a reminder and or wake-up call for those who need it to let you know, no, you are not good. And no, you do not have to be embarrassed. You think it's always easy to just jump up on YouTube where everybody and their mama judges you? To sit there and be like, okay, to a world full of strangers, I'm gonna just let you guys know I have ED. I'm perfectly fine with it. One thing about me, if you haven't learned already, you're going to learn. I'm not worried about what anybody else thinks about me, what anybody else has to say, whatever jokes one has to crack. I'm grown. I'm a grown man. I don't care. So I can come up and have these open conversations with every last one of you. Because if it's going to help one of you, I did my job. If this message is going to help turn around the life of just one man out there who caught it early enough to reverse it and make the changes of ED, if this video can help that so you don't have to go through what it is that I'm going through, type 2 diabetes, right? If this video can help you, I'm good. I'm good over here. But it's my responsibility to make sure that I put these videos out. And I'm thinking of dropping health updates on Sundays. Every Sunday, I should drop a health update. Just to let you know what I'm dealing with, my ups, my downs, my highs, my lows, to let you know that I'm in this with you and we're going to figure this out together. And everybody's going to have an answer of how you could fix it. Everybody is different. Things work differently for everyone, right? And there's certain things that you could adapt in your life and in your lifestyle that will help change and bring your numbers down and get you right again. But you have to want to do it. Don't listen to the outside noise. And I'm not saying that people are outside noise, but there's a lot of outside noise going on. And everybody's going to be like, well, you got to do this for your family and do this for your kids and do this for your spouse and do this for everyone else but you. And that's why it's not going to work. You have to get to a point of waking up, not being 100% comfortable with yourself, to want to make the change that's going to make a difference. See, I won't do this for my kids because I'll stop. And I won't do this for my spouse because I'll stop. And I won't do this for the world because I'll definitely stop. But I'm going to make the changes because I want to make the changes. I'm doing it for me. Once you start making effective changes, everything around you begins to change. If you're going to be here for your kids, it's because you want to be here for your kids. And if you want to be here for yourself, it's because you want to be here for your spouse. It's because you want to actively be here. You want to see the changes happen. You want to be proud of who you are at the end of the day, at whatever given size you are. If you're big and you're comfortable with being big, then look, I'm not here to judge. This is the judgment-free zone. I got to a point I was no longer comfortable with being a big man. So for myself, I started making the changes. I had to. But because I allowed for so much time to go by before making any change that made a difference in my life, I took the hit. My boy took the hit. So now I get to have type 2 diabetes and erectile dysfunction. Ooh, my goodness. Those are like 2 prizes that I didn't ask for. But those are the 2 prizes that I received because of my poor choices. Those are the 2 prizes. That's what I get. But now I know my viewers, at least some of you, a percentage of you, are going through the same thing and or starting to go through the same thing. And hopefully we could catch it for those of you early to the issue. Hopefully we could catch all of it on time, start making the changes to get you back right again. But for those of you knee deep into type 2 diabetes, knee deep into erectile dysfunction, then hopefully this conversation is us collectively being in the same room together, helping one another, right? We're helping one another to get right, to figure out what we have to do to get right so we can show up to that party that I was talking about before. And we can stay in that attention and we can be right. And if that means it takes surgery to get there after you're able to bring your numbers down, so be it. Because you can bring your numbers down below 7. Your A1C, you can bring it down below 7. Your boy still might not show up to the party because of years of damage already done. Because of the years of damage that already destroyed those blood vessels. That blood rush just might not happen anymore. You might need assistance. You might need the pump. Right? And if you don't go in the direction of having the pump inside the balls to get the bat at attention, then they have like a splint sort of type device that they could put in your boy, but you forever stay rigid. So it always looks like you're at some sort of attention as you're walking around. Whereas option 1, I mean, it's still going to be rigid, but it's not going to be out and about where you're just bending it wherever you want to bend it. Like it's going to still be on semi-chub rock, but not full chub rock. So it's just going to look kind of plump right there, pause. But then you just move it when you're ready and then move it back when you're done. Now, what are the benefits to the surgery? If by chance you prematurely ejaculate and often, this is definitely going to help with that. Because you might even still prematurely ejaculate, but it's not going down. It's not going anywhere. You stay on rock. You stay on rock the whole time. You can lick off all type of shots, shoot up the club 5,000 times if you wanna. You gonna stay on rock until he or she's done, and they tap out, and they're like, no more. What is that? What is that mechanical loving you giving me? What is that? And then you just sit there. You feel like the man. Chill. You good? You good? You want me to go make you a sandwich? You good? I'ma just lay here and contemplate life is what I'm gonna do. Cause that right there was crazy, Daddy. That was crazy. Pause. But it's gonna be that type of situation. And then when it's all said and done, you hit your little deflate button on the other side of the bizzalls, and then it goes back to the semi-chub rock. It's still on chub rock, but it's the semi-chub rock. That's the benefit of the surgery. But to get there, you got to bring your A1C down to down below a 7. And then you got to make sure you do not have issues with your blood pressure being high because they won't be able to do the surgery. With high blood pressure, they can't do the surgery because your blood pressure is going to rise during the surgery where they might actually have to stop mid-surgery. So all your levels got to come down if the surgery is something that you need to get done. But again, these are the choices that you're going to have to make for yourself, what works best for you. So me, I'm working on getting my levels down, all my levels down, to where they need to be so I can get my surgery done. And if I can get to that point, I'm taking you on that journey with me. You're going to be up in that hospital with me. You might not see the business, but I'm like, look, doc, whatever we can record, I'm on a health journey with my fam, and I got to show them all of these steps. I got to show them all of these options that they have so they can know what they might want to do in the near future. I ain't gonna hold you. This video was different because I was like, do I talk about it? Do I not talk about it? But the reality is I have to talk about it because transparency comes with everything. It doesn't come with just some things. It comes with everything. You got to be okay with the outside noise being just that, to live this life, to live this open life. You got to be okay with the outside noise being just that. A lot of people allow the outside noise to get to them, to break them down mentally. You're always worried about what somebody else thinks about you. No. I'm going to try to help you get past that too. It don't matter. What matters is what you think about yourself. Me and Daym drops. I'm ready to start my day. Oh, on the Happy Hours YouTube channel, my girl G Money at @the_Happy Hour Hunter. She's gonna have a whole video going up of when she recently took me hiking. Your boy was struggling, but let me tell you something about that struggle. Called the high risk, high reward struggle. I remember walking up that mountain and feeling every single breath, feeling it every single step, every single breath became a little more difficult to take. Every time she was like, you want to sit down? And I'm like, let me keep pushing. Let me keep pushing. Let me keep going because I have a goal. And when I have a goal, I have to champion myself. I have to push myself. I'm not worried about anybody. I have to push me because I'm doing this for me, right? So I push up that mountain. It took me an hour to get up the mountain. I'm not going to hold you. Something that most individuals could probably bang out in half hour for the highest go up that mountain, 45 minutes for a regular go. It took me an hour, but I got to the top. It took me 40 minutes to get back down because we were on the decline at that point. I'm going back. I'm going back to hike that mountain again because each time I go back up that mountain, I'm going to take that time down. And every time I take that time down, I know my A1C is also coming down. Because when we were done hiking that mountain, y'all, your boy was at the lowest point on my Freestyle Libre I've ever been. And I posted it on my community page here on YouTube, 94. That was the lowest I've ever seen. Before that, like I was in like 122, kind of like the 130s, 94. I was like, all right. That was a hike up the mountain. That was me paying attention to my body talking to me and taking the necessary steps to go in the right direction. If I want to get the surgery done, I have to keep pushing myself harder and further than ever before. And that's going to happen. I greatly appreciate every last one of y'all. I know these videos are long. I just want to make sure that I get the word out to someone. Again, even if it's just one person that watches this video, it's my responsibility to still put it out there, to still speak my truth. And I greatly appreciate everyone sharing these videos of the health update, everyone that's coming in and subscribing and holding me accountable for the reviews that I do, making sure that I'm okay, double checking on me, because don't think for a second I do not read the messages in the comment section. I love y'all too. Like, people support you in different ways that don't know you. And they do a better job at supporting you than some of the people you do know. So I just want to let you know, like, I love y'all, yo. I love y'all from the bottom of my heart. And wherever this journey may lead us, if you're here rocking with me through the whole thing from start, and I won't say to finish, right? Because when you finish, it's too easy to kind of fall back into old habits. So from start to continuation, thank you. She made me a Daym drops. And I'm living with ED. I holla.